pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would now please stay standing. Sorry. I'd like to invite Chaplain Pat Forsythe for our invocation.
Well, this evening we gather for a swear against what exactly does that mean? For most of us, during our lives for several times, we formally and publicly promise. We make vows. We take oaths. We establish covenants. And we do it all in front of witnesses. Quite often, it's a solemn declaration or affirmation by God to bind ourselves to His promise. Scripture is steeped in promises, in oaths, and covenants, where God swore by Himself to fulfill. And He did. So as God made pacts with mankind, so we make pacts with each other. So we pray. Lord, bless these men as they pledge to be loyal and honest and to perform their duties to the best of their ability. Grant them the grace of compassion and strength and clarity of mind. We ask this through your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, who promised all of us eternal life. Amen.
Please be seated. Thank you, Pat, Chaplain Forsythe, for your invitation. Today is a very special occasion. We're here to celebrate the official swearing in of 5 members that have chosen the fire service as a career. We will also witness the swearing in and promotion of David Piper to the Manhattan Fire Protection District's second highest position of Deputy Chief. The swearing in of firefighters and the promotion to the position of Deputy Fire Chief is another milestone signifying the start of another chapter in the growth and development of the Manhattan Fire Protection District. For all of our members, the fire service is a very long, difficult growth path. Due to the diverse amount of services that we are required to provide, members are required to have vast amounts of education as well as prove proficiency in many different skills. That foundation provides our organization with the ability to solve the challenges given us by our community and that 911 caller. As I remind you, there's no 912, so we have all those responsibilities. When a resident does not know how to solve a problem, they call us or the police department to solve their problem. We become their personal problem solver. Each member's growth requires a large amount of investment by the member and their families along the way. A career full of going to work, going to classes, studying for tests, studying for promotions, being engaged in outside efforts of the fire service, giving 100% of themselves in that task. Realizing, of course, the member is not the only one committing to that investment. Their family and close friends share in that commitment, in that investment, in every day of preparation. Today, we are here to celebrate. We celebrate the next milestone in each member's path. We also celebrate the family's success in getting their member to this important milestone. Each new member, each new promotion allows the Manhattan Fire Protection District to celebrate the addition of another important foundation block. A block for our future, broadening our base, legitimizing tomorrow. So here's the plan for tonight. We'll begin by welcoming 5 new members signified by their swearing in as a group. They will recite the oath of the Manhattan Fire Protection District. We will then invite those members and a family friend or family member to come up and quote unquote pin the member. Chief Malone will then present each member a helmet and their helmet shield. Please, during that process, please feel free to take pictures during the swearing in and the pinning ceremony. Once the member comes up and is pinned, they will stop for a second so that you can take a picture prior to them returning to their seat. You will have another opportunity for photos after the completion of both ceremonies, the pinning and the promotion ceremony. The flag, we will take the flag to a different location and you'll be able to take pictures with your members. Once the firefighters have been sworn in, we will begin the promotion ceremony for Deputy Chief Piper. Upon completion of Deputy Chief Piper swearing in ceremony, you will have that opportunity to take photos with your family member in front of the flag. And we have provided some COVID-safe refreshments tonight. There's wrapped cookies in the back, so before you leave for the night, make sure that you take some with you. I'd like to invite Chief Malone.
All right, good evening. My name is Steve Malone. I'm the fire chief here in Manhattan, for those of you that don't know me. Tonight, as Chief Boyle mentioned, we're here to celebrate the closing of one chapter and the beginning of a new in these firefighters' careers. Traditionally, the swearing in of a firefighter means that they've successfully completed their 1-year probation and has quote unquote made it. Over the past year, these firefighters here tonight have demonstrated their skills and knowledge of the job, as well as their ability to fit in with our organization. In 2020, wow, what a year they chose to do that. Huh? I would like to invite the firefighters, Alec Spagnoli, Jeremy Wilson, Matthew Valdarchi, Douglas Matthews, and Chris Mundt up to the podium. Take your places, and we will read the oath. Which one?
Big one.
Face me, please. I'm going to say aye, and then you guys state your name. And I'll try to go line by line. So raise your right arm. Right hand. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of Illinois. That I will familiarize myself with and be obedient to the policies, rules, and regulations and orders of the Manhattan Fire Protection.
Come here,
And I will
Emma or
faithfully
Claire.
serve the Manhattan Fire
Come here.
Protection District.
Owen, come here. This is Alec's swearing in ceremony for work. Let's see. I think that's him right there.
To the best of my knowledge and ability.
Is it cold?
Congratulations.
Is it cold?
All right, first. All right, I would like to call up Angelina Troskes. Sorry. I practice it too, I'm sorry. I'm sorry? Borstecki and Easton to come up with a badge. right, now I'd like to call up Caitlin Lillis for firefighter Matthews badge. Did I pronounce that right? Yes. All right, now I'd like to call up Brian Riedfeld for firefighter Valdarchi's badge. Okay, next, Chief Bob Wilson for firefighter Wilson's badge. All right, and last but not least, I'd like to call up David Spagnoli for firefighter Spagnoli's badge. Okay, to the firefighters, remember, this is just the beginning of your career. Even though some of you may be in the fire service, may have been in the fire service for quite some time, this is truly the beginning of your career. Continue to develop yourself personally and professionally. Please find your passion and continue to strive to improve yourself and the organization. To the family members and significant others, I want to say thank you for the sacrifices that you have made. And I ask that you please continue to support your firefighter on their journey. Congratulations to all. All right, at this time, we're going to move into the swearing in of Deputy Chief David Piper. So I've known Dave for about 10 years now, probably longer. Throughout the years, Dave's been a very close mentor of mine and a friend. He's proudly served for the Piatone Fire Protection District, Mundt Fire Protection District, and most recently the Orland Fire Protection District, where he retired as the operations lieutenant chief. Dave has done so much for the fire service here in Illinois and throughout the entire country. He's blazed a trail of positivity, progressiveness, and innovation right through the heart of many organizations. And well, now, you're Manhattan's. Sorry, Chief Schofield. You'll be a tremendous asset to our amazing team of firefighters and administrative staff already here in Manhattan. I'm proud to call you my peer, my mentor, and my friend. Now let's get to work. But don't forget your famous motto. Today's a great day. Have a great day. Congratulations, Dave. All right, come on up so you can take your oath. I, David Piper, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of Illinois. That I will familiarize myself with and be obedient to the policies, rules, and regulations and orders of the Manhattan Fire Protection District. And that I will faithfully serve the Manhattan Fire Protection District in the discharge of my duties as a Deputy Chief to the best of my knowledge and ability. All right, I want to call up Dave's beautiful family, Kara, kids, come on up for the badge pinning and the signing, please. Congratulations. All right, now for Chief Piper's confirming, I'd like to call up Chief Mike Schofield from the Orland Fire Protection District to say a few words.
Might be a little more than a few words. Anybody knows me, I had a tendency to talk a little bit. Let me start out by first saying, the first time I was out here in Manhattan was in the late 1970s, and I was on the Orland water ball team. We came out to Manhattan, which was a small volunteer fire department, and they were hosting their annual water ball tournament. And I got to say, it was a great experience. You know, back then, the community, the volunteers, the wives, and the family came out and made it a very, very nice outing. My next encounters with Manhattan was in the 1990s with what we call the Manhattan Twins. Now, these guys probably don't know that we used to call them the twins. But Bruce Boyle and Jerry Kinsella. So in our early days, we worked closely with these two gentlemen. They served on the State Fire Marshal's Committee that basically built the foundation for all rescue certifications that you new firefighters will be going through in your career. And as a result of their commitment and commitment of people on that committee, many lives have been saved since we developed these programs. And Manhattan played a huge part in that. Around the same time, I was deputy chief and chief in Homer Township, and I had the honor to deal with and meet Chief Chubbs, who was the Manhattan Fire Chief. And I certainly learned a lot. I learned a lot of new words and ideas from him. But he was another great man from Manhattan. The success of the organization depends on the foundation that was built by those that came before us. And Manhattan is a great experience, a great example of the foundation that was laid by the volunteers starting in the late 1800s, going through today with the full-time firefighters. Now comes the future builders. One of them is a humble man. In order to be a good leader, you have to be humble. You have to be a family man and someone with a passion for the fire service and its community. This is what you're getting with David. I always call him David. He is a father, a husband, a son, an uncle, a cousin, and most importantly, he's a firefighter. David is a humble leader, down to earth, always there to answer a question, always there to give one-on-one instruction, and as the former State of Illinois Instructor of the Year, he's just a regular guy with the goal of safety through education. David has a passion for the fire service. That's something you either have or you don't have. An example here in Manhattan is the Board of Trustees. They have a passion for the job they do in their community because they're certainly not doing it for the money. Neither are Jerry Kinsella or Bruce Boyle, who are both here after years and years of service for this department, this community. Jerry serves as a commissioner and Bruce as battalion chief. And they do this all because they have passion for the job, passion for the service. David has that passion. He was always the first one in the office, last one to leave, first one to pick up the phone at 2 o'clock in the morning. I've known David as a firefighter, a lieutenant, and the chief of operations for one of the largest fire districts in the state of Illinois. He has written and developed training standards not only for Orland, but for Midas 19. He has sat on many state fire marshal committees and written state standards. He's taught untold numbers of classes throughout the state, developed and implemented blue card training program in Orland and throughout the region, but he wrote grants so all these classes would be for free. He created policies and procedures for Orland, then developed the training programs to implement them, developed procedures for back-to-work procedures when a firefighter gets hurt. How do you get him back to work? How do you retrain him? They created those procedures for our department. He helped create our COVID policies. He created policies were never thought of before. Who would ever thought we'd have a national or worldwide pandemic? David stepped up, created policies, programs, how to implement them, flow charts, what to do if a guy gets sick, if a guy has COVID, how does it affect the department? He developed all these policies. Helped create the standard of cover for our Orland Fire District. Helped us reach our ISO 1 rating, which has been a goal for our department for over 30 years. Put in over 1,000 hours toward our accreditation. Worked on grants resulting in millions of dollars in grant money for our fire district. He created a great relationship with Cook County, which resulted how to write grants, how to support your fire district. David has been a big part of Maintenance 19, and he helps coordinate responses. And most of the time, he is a responding chief to other agencies when they have multiple alarms. He helps establish incident command, helps support the chief who's running the fire. David has also been deployed as a chief officer to natural disasters throughout our state. David helped create a mass shooting training program, RTF, which went statewide, and he helped teach it statewide. He helped get the police and the fire departments to work on the same page, which up to 3 or 4 years ago would have never happened. There was always that divide between the red and blue. Through David's training, he brought it together. And unbeknownst to us, right after implementation, we had a shooting in our mall, and the training helped us get through it. In Orland, David has been park developer, architect, and has become an expert in water retention and pond design. We're in the process of building a new building in Orland, and we got held up by the Metropolitan Sanitary District because of our pond and water runoff. And David has helped us navigate this through hundreds of hours of research and training. I know there's a lot more, but this was all done in his last day in Orland. When he became the operations chief, he became part of what I call our dream team. We had the best chiefs working together, and there really wasn't anything that we couldn't overcome. David is a mentor and an example how a firefighter should be, how a lieutenant should be, and how a chief officer should be. He is an example of what a father should be and what a husband should be to Kara, Danny, and Dawson. I said this at his retirement party. David is something that these young firefighters should aspire to be. And I know you guys are proud of them. We're all proud of them. The last thing I have is I got a notice from Tom Gilbert. I guess he's the district's attorney. So I guess he needs billable hours because he said before I could come up here and talk about David, he had to see my comments prior to it. So he made me add this one part. Please be advised, past achievements are not an indicator of future performance. Well, I have to say to that, past achievements will seem small to what achievements David would be part of here in Manhattan. Manhattan, you're getting the best of the best. David and Chief Malone will take this district to levels never seen before. David, thank you for letting me come up and talk. You're a great chief. And Manhattan has like I said, you have the best of the best, and you guys are just going to soar in the future. Congratulations.
Well, thank you for all those kind words. You're always a hard guy to follow. I really don't like following you, but thank you for those kind words. I want to say one thing though, all the things that he talked about, I didn't do any of that. That was all done by a bunch of hardworking firefighters, lieutenants, administrative staff, all the people that kind of put into that. It was definitely a team effort. So I want to take this opportunity to thank Chief Malone, thank the Board of Trustees, the Board of Fire Commissioners for this opportunity here at the Manhattan Fire Protection District. Thank you to my family, my wife Kara, Danielle, and Dawson. All of us as firefighters know who the true heroes are. It's the family. Excuse me. I am humbled and honored to be joining the Manhattan Fire Protection District team. I've been extremely fortunate in my career to learn from some of the great leaders like Chief Schofield, Chief McCaslin, Chief Bonner that are here tonight. We are all firefighter paramedics. We're part of the greatest profession in the world. We are the fire service. Most people think of the fire service, they think of fighting fires, fire trucks, spraying water, breaking down doors, forcible entry, cutting roofs, ventilation. All of that is part of the fire service, but that's all focused on the fire side. The fire service has evolved into so many other things, especially in the past few decades. We are now an all-hazard fire service that does EMS, technical rescue, hazardous materials, active shooter, as the chief talked about, and many other service-oriented tasks. And now that we're in 2020, we're dealing with pandemics. I'd like to take a few moments to look at the fire service part of our profession that we call the fire service. Service is defined as the employment as a servant, people helping people. One thing I learned from Chief Schofield was that the fire service leader, you work for the people. You provide vision, put them in positions to succeed, support them, mentor them, and always take care of your people. As a fire service leader, our service is to your people. For me, that's the men and women of the Manhattan Fire District and everybody that we encounter through our fire service career. I believe that this is extremely important because the fire service, we don't do anything ourselves. Most of the time, we don't even go to the bathroom by ourselves. Everything we do in the fire service is done as a team and depends on each of us being a good teammate. The success of our team depends on our ability to function as a cohesive group, not just a bunch of people accomplishing tasks to do a job. I believe a successful team is built on trust, and I believe there's three things that is going to help us build that trust. And what can you expect from me? I'll work hard. I'll work hard not to just do a good job, but do a great job for each person impacted by our organization. I'll build relationships. I'll work hard to build those relationships throughout my career as I've done in the past. I will also strive to foster new relationships throughout the organization from inside Manhattan, as well as all our external customers that we're going to meet. And I'm going to care. John Maxwell says no one really cares how much you know until they know how much you care. I will show you that I care about each and every one of you. I care about the Manhattan Fire Protection District, and ultimately, I care about the fire service. The fire service is about service. It's about people helping people. It's about us serving those people. It's about each of us serving the Manhattan Fire Protection District. It's about us having a servant attitude to our fellow firefighters. If each of us can maintain our focus on our service to others, we will reap the benefits exponentially. It's not about what the fire service can do for me. It's what I can do for the fire service. And more importantly, what can I do for the Manhattan Fire Protection District? In closing, I will work to earn your trust. I will work hard. I will build relationships, and I can assure you that I care about the fire service, the Manhattan Fire Protection District, and each and every one of you. Thank you for letting me join the team. I look forward to doing great things with all of you. And today is a great day to have a great day. Thank you.
That concludes tonight's ceremony. I want to thank you all for coming and or watching via Zoom. Appreciate all of you coming out and support for our newly promoted and newly sworn in firefighters. So congratulations to all. Please take pictures, put photographers around. There is cookies, individually wrapped cookies. Yes, Chief Boyle said it's in small waters. So please enjoy. Thank you again. I appreciate it.